What if everything you believe about yourself is a lie? What if the limits you think are real are actually just stories you accepted without a fight? Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the only thing holding you back wasn't your past. Wasn't your circumstances, wasn't your talent. It was the way you allow your mind to be controlled. You've been trained to doubt yourself, to fear failure, to chase approval, to wait for permission. But today, you take back the controls. Listen closely. Your mind is the most powerful machine you will ever own. And for years, you've been running it on outdated code written by fear, insecurity, and the opinions of other people who never had to live your life. You weren't born with self-doubt. A child doesn't hesitate. A child doesn't overthink. A child sees a wall and tries to climb it. But somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that the wall was too high. And worse, you believed them. That's how the mind gets captured. But here's the truth no one told you. That same mind that traps you can also free you. You just have to relearn how to drive it. You have to take the wheel back from fear. Every excuse you've ever made, every moment you chose comfort over courage, every time you wanted to speak but stayed quiet, those were moments your mind wasn't being controlled by you. They were stolen by doubt. It's time to ask who's controlling your mind right now. Is it fear? Is it comparison? Is it comfort? You cannot live a bold life with a mind that whispers small instructions. You must rewire your thoughts so they push you forward instead of pulling you down. Because success isn't found in muscles or money or luck. Success is found in your ability to command your thoughts even when everything else is falling apart. So today, I want you to imagine something different. Imagine your mind as a wild horse. Powerful, fast, unstoppable. But only if you learn to hold the reins. If you don't, that same horse will drag you through the dirt, leave you lost, exhausted, and confused. You are not weak. You are not stuck. You were simply never trained to master the most important force. You have the power of your mind. This is the moment everything changes. Not tomorrow. Not someday now. Your power is waking up now. You were made to think bravely, choose boldly, rise higher, break limits, rewrite rules, and create a life no doubt can touch. Own every thought always. You think your mind is working for you, but most days it is working against you. It tells you to play it safe. It tells you to avoid risk. It tells you to stay comfortable, because comfort feels like protection. But comfort is not protection. Comfort is a cage. Every great dream you have imagined lives on the other side of fear, but your mind convinces you the fear means stop. No, the fear means go. The fear means you found a door. The fear means there is something waiting for you that will change everything if you just walk through. Your mind repeats old pain like a broken record. It reminds you of mistakes as if your future is supposed to be punished for what your past has already paid for. You cannot grow if you keep your eyes locked on yesterday. Your mind will always choose the known over the unknown, even if the known is killing you slowly. That is its programming: survive, not succeed. But you are not designed just to survive. You are designed to build, to create, to expand your possibilities. Control does not begin with shouting at your thoughts. Control begins with awareness. Notice what your mind tells you when you try something new. Notice how quickly it tells you you're not enough. Notice how fast it becomes the voice of someone who doubted you long ago. Those voices are echoes. They are ghosts. Ghosts only have power if you give them attention. You can change the story your mind repeats. You can rewrite your internal script. You can look at fear and say, thank you for trying to protect me, but I choose growth today. You can look at doubt and say, I hear you, but I will speak louder. You can remind yourself that a thought is not a command. A thought is not a fact. A thought is just a signal, and you decide whether to follow it. Most people never question their thoughts. They let their minds bully them. They let fear become the leader. Not you, not anymore. Choose thoughts that serve your future, not thoughts that defend your excuses. Choose courage even when your mind screams for comfort. When the mind tries to pull you back, take one step forward. When the mind shows you what could go wrong, show it what could go right. Direct your thoughts where you want your life to go. Every moment you choose strength over fear, you take back control. Every moment you act despite doubt, you become unstoppable. Forward, your mind has a habit of believing pain more than possibilities. One failure becomes a prophecy. One rejection becomes a lifetime of hesitation. You try once, it doesn't work, and suddenly your mind declares, this is who you are now, someone who fails. But that's a lie that becomes powerful only when you repeat it. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you have even tried. The difference is simple. They didn't let their mind turn a moment into a definition. You must learn to interrupt the stories that tell you to shrink. When your mind says, stop, ask why. When your mind says, you can't, ask, who decided that? Most of your fears are inherited. You learn them from others. You absorb them from environments that settled instead of striving. You accepted limits that never belonged to you. That is how the mind is taken hostage, quietly, slowly, through repetition. But you can break the cycle. You can stand up to those thoughts and take away their power. There is a voice inside you that knows you are meant for more. It speaks in moments of calm. It appears when you dare to dream. It's the voice that imagines you conquering the challenges that scare you. But too often, that voice is drowned by noise from doubt, judgment, and fear. You must turn that inner voice into your leader. You must turn that whisper into a command. Control is not about silence. It is about choosing the voice you listen to. Your mind can scream 1,000 reasons to quit, and still you can decide to listen to the single reason to continue. That is control. That is strength. When everything in your head is shaking, Yet you choose to move forward. That is how champions are made. Do not wait for confidence to appear before you take action. Confidence does not lead action. Action builds confidence. Every small step proves to your mind that you are capable. Every attempt rewrites the code of who you believe yourself to be. You say, I am not confident. No, you are simply untrained. Train your mind through action. Train it through repetition. Train it by showing up even when the doubt is loud. You are not here to be a prisoner of old feelings. You are here to upgrade your thoughts, to redesign your beliefs, to transform fear into fuel. Your mind was built to obey you, not control you. So reclaim the authority. Speak to yourself like someone worth fighting for. And every day, take one more step into the life your fear told you was impossible. Forward is the only direction. Every second you hesitate, your mind grows stronger in its old patterns. Every time you retreat to what feels familiar, your mind tightens the chains of comfort around you. Comfort is addictive. It feels like safety. It feels like peace. But comfort slowly kills your hunger, your ambition, your courage. Nothing legendary is born from comfort. Growth demands discomfort. Progress demands uncertainty. And your mind must learn that discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is transformation in motion. The mind will always look for shortcuts. It will always choose the easiest path. But the easiest path rarely leads to the life you want. So you must train your mind to endure, to push when it wants to pull back, to stay committed when it wants to escape. When your body gets tired, your mind must take over. When your heart breaks, your mind must protect your purpose. When everything around you shakes, your mind must hold the foundation. That is mental control, choosing your mission over your mood. You will face days when you don't feel motivated. You will wake up sometimes with no fire, no drive, no excitement. Those days are the real test. Anybody can move forward when they're inspired, when life is easy, when results are visible. The strongest people in the world take action, especially on the days they don't want to. They master the voice in their head that says, not today, and replace it with now. You cannot wait for the right feeling. You create the right feeling by doing the work. And when your mind throws fear at you, remember this: fear is a lesson, not a wall. Fear is information. It tells you there is something valuable behind it. If you run from fear, you run from growth. If you face fear, you upgrade your life. You are stronger than your panic. You are bigger than your anxiety. Those thoughts are loud, but loud doesn't mean true. Stand in the storm. Let the thoughts scream. You stand stronger. You stand taller. You stand firm. Control does not happen overnight. It is built minute by minute, decision by decision, day by day. You fail, you learn. You trip, you rise. You break, you rebuild. That is the process of mastering the mind. And when you do, life opens. Opportunities find you. Confidence becomes your default setting. You stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose. You stop fearing mistakes and start demanding greatness from yourself. There's a warrior inside you. Let that warrior lead your thoughts. Let that warrior rewrite your stories. Let that warrior break every limit. Forward is the only option. Always forward. Your mind loves certainty. It loves patterns. It loves to repeat what it already knows. That's why change feels uncomfortable. That's why new goals feel terrifying, because your mind is trying to protect you from the unknown. But the unknown is where your future lies. Everything you want, your success, your confidence, your strength, it all exists in territory your mind has not yet explored. So when your mind tries to pull you back to what feels safe, remind yourself safety is not growth. Certainty is not progress. You must be brave enough to walk into the dark before you see the light. The most dangerous prison is not the one made of walls. It is the one made of thoughts. A prison built from fear, from assumptions, from other people's limits. A prison where the door is unlocked, but you never try to push it. You think the lock is outside, but the lock is inside your mind. The key has always been with you. Courage is the key. Action is the key. Belief is the key. Every step forward is you turning that key and walking into a life that is finally yours. Your mind will challenge you the moment you try to rise. It will remind you of every time you failed. It will make you question whether you are enough. It will try to keep you small because small feels familiar. But here's the truth: you are not meant to fit into small places. You are meant to grow beyond every limit you once accepted. You are meant to become someone your past self would be proud of. You are meant to lead your mind, not follow its fears. Do not wait for permission to evolve. Do not wait for someone to tell you that you are capable. Permission is internal. Approval is optional. You do not need to justify your dreams to anyone. Your mind will tell you to explain yourself. Ignore it. Move. Act. Build what you see in your imagination, even if no one else sees it yet, especially then. Because vision always comes to one person before it comes to the world. There is a voice inside you that refuses to be average. That voice knows you are capable of more than comfort, more than fear, more than silence. Listen to that voice. Feed it. Strengthen it. Let it grow louder than every doubt trying to hold you down. When the battle is mental, the victory is internal first. Win that battle. Win every day. Win every moment you choose progress over fear. Forward, always forward. No retreat, no surrender. Control the mind, and the world opens. Your mind will try to convince you that your past defines you. It will replay the old versions of you, the ones who made mistakes, who stumbled, who quit. It will say, this is who you are. This is all you will ever be. But your past is not a life sentence, is a lesson. Every scar, every failure, every disappointment was preparation. You are not the same person you were then. You are stronger because you survived. You are wiser because you learned. Stop letting old memories control a future they have no right to own. When you think about a goal, your mind immediately responds with worry. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? But switch the question. What if you succeed? What if you inspire someone? What if you change your life forever? Your mind has spent years preparing you for the worst. Now it's your job to prepare your mind for the best. When you train your focus on possibility instead of problems, your world expands. Too many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until fear disappears. But the truth is nobody is ever ready. Readiness is forged in action. You become ready by doing the thing your mind says you can't. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward while fear sits in the passenger seat. It's saying, I hear you, but I'm driving anyway. You must challenge your thoughts the same way you challenge your body in a workout. Growth comes from resistance. Strength is built in struggle. When you stretch your mind beyond what feels comfortable, you feed the belief that you are capable. Every time you face fear, fear gets smaller. Every time you conquer doubt, confidence gets louder. You are training your mind to fight for you, not against you. The people who rise in life are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who never let the fall convince them to stay down. They have mastered the moment after failure. That moment when quitting feels easier, when excuses feel comfortable, when giving up feels logical. They choose to rise anyway. They control their mind by demanding more from their thoughts than their fears allow. Your thoughts are shaping you. Your beliefs are building you or breaking you. So choose thoughts that strengthen your future. Choose beliefs that honor your potential. The mind that once held you back can become the mind that propels you forward. It's time to rise into who you were always meant to be. Forward is the only direction you allow now. Your mind is powerful, but it is also programmable. And whether you realize it or not, it has been programmed by every voice you've ever listened to. The voice that told you to be realistic. The voice that told you to stop dreaming. The voice that laughed at your ideas. The voice that made you believe you were ordinary. Those voices became thoughts. Those thoughts became beliefs. And those beliefs became your limits. But limits do not disappear by accident. Limits disappear by decision. You must decide to update the code in your mind. Delete the beliefs that hold you back. Install thoughts that push you forward. The words you repeat to yourself become the world you live in. If you tell yourself you are weak, your mind will find evidence. If you tell yourself you are capable, your mind will find opportunity. What you focus on expands. Focus on fear and fear grows. Focus on possibility and possibility multiplies. Do not let your mind use your imagination against you. You were given imagination so you could build your future, not fear it. Yet most people spend more time imagining what could go wrong than imagining what could go right. They picture failure with more detail than they picture success. They rehearse pain more than they rehearse victory. Shift your focus. Start using your imagination as a weapon for growth. The language you use matters. When you say, I can't, your mind obeys. When you say maybe someday, your mind waits. But when you say, I will, your mind searches for ways to make it happen. The command must be strong. The belief must be firm. Speak to your mind like a leader, not a victim. Replace doubt with direction. Replace fear with purpose. Replace hesitation with action. Most people lose the battle in their mind long before they attempt anything in reality. They surrender before they even take the first step. Not you, not anymore. You are learning to fight the inner war. You are learning to catch the thought that says, stop, and answer with go. You are learning to recognize the moment your mind tries to sabotage your future and choose differently. Your life will rise to the level of your thoughts. You cannot think small and live big. You cannot think weak and act strong. You cannot think failure and expect success. Upgrade your thoughts and your life will follow. You have the ability to become the master of your inner world. And once you do, the outer world becomes limitless. Forward is the only choice. Forward is the only belief. Forward is the command. Your mind reacts to the world, but you must teach it to create the world instead. Most people wake up and allow their thoughts to be controlled by everything around them. News, opinions, judgment, stress. They give their power away before the day even begins. But you are here to rewrite that. You are here to take ownership of your mornings, your thoughts, your direction. When you open your eyes each day, you must decide who is in control, your fear or your future. The moment you wake up, your mind tries to rush you into stress. It reminds you of unfinished tasks. It tries to overwhelm you before you even take your first step. But take that step anyway. Breathe. Slow down the chaos. Direct your focus. You have more control than you think. When you choose your first thought, you choose your mindset. And your mindset chooses your day. Start with gratitude. Start with intention. Start with belief. These are not small habits. These are commands to your mind. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Your mind will resist discipline because discipline destroys the comfort that keeps you ordinary. But nothing extraordinary is created with a comfortable mind. You must show your mind who leads. When it begs you to quit early, stay a little longer. When it wants to delay, move now. When it complains, remind it of the purpose. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is permission. Permission to become the person you are meant to be. You must feed your mind the right energy. Protect it from negativity. Surround yourself with people who speak your potential, not your limits. Your mind imitates its environment. If you live around fear, you think fear. If you live around growth, you think growth. Choose wisely who gets access to your thoughts. Not every voice deserves a place in your mind. Silence those who try to shrink your vision. And when doubt whispers, what if you are wrong? Answer with, what if I'm right? What if you succeed? What if everything you dream of becomes real? What if the future waiting for you is bigger than anything you've ever imagined? Your mind needs proof, so give it proof. Take the risk, try again, keep going. Prove to yourself that you are stronger than fear. This is not the time to slow down. This is not the time to look back. You are in the process of transformation. Your mind is evolving. Every step you take is evidence that you are mastering your inner world. Keep going. Forward is your direction. Forward is your identity. Forward is your life now. Your mind will test you the hardest right before your breakthrough. It will create the loudest doubts when you are closest to growth. It will shake your confidence when your potential is finally waking up. Why? Because your old self is terrified of being replaced. The mind is loyal to the patterns that built it, even when those patterns are hurting you. When you try to evolve, your mind fears extinction. It wants to pull you back to who you used to be, because that identity feels familiar. But you are not here to stay familiar. You are here to become unstoppable. Whenever you feel resistance, remember resistance is a sign of progress. The struggle means you are entering a new level. The discomfort means you are stepping into a bigger version of yourself. Most people run from these moments, not knowing they are turning their backs on greatness. But you will lean in. You will step toward the fear instead of away from it. You will choose the path that forces you to grow, not the path that keeps you small. Greatness doesn't show up in a straight line. It shows up disguised as challenge, disguised as frustration, disguised as delay. Your mind will try to convince you that setbacks are a sign to quit. But a setback is not a stop sign. A setback is a message. Something powerful is being built inside you. When your mind says, it's too hard, answer with, that's how I know it's worth it. And never underestimate the power of persistence. Your mind loves instant results, but your future requires patience. You won't always see the progress you are making. You won't always feel the growth happening inside. But keep pushing anyway. Every day you fight for control, you strengthen your identity. Every time you show up without motivation, you build mental armor. Your future self is being forged in every uncomfortable moment you survive. Doubt will always exist. Fear will always exist. But control means you move anyway. Progress means you act despite uncertainty. Do not let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. You are not tired. You are transforming. You are not stuck. You are leveling up. You are not failing. You are becoming stronger. One day, you will look back and realize the battle with your mind was the most important fight of your life. And you won because you did not give up. You won because you chose forward when your mind begged you to stop. You won because you believed in the version of yourself that your fear could not see. Forward is your destiny. Forward is your proof. Forward is your power. Now, everything you've learned about your mind comes down to one truth. Control is a choice. Every thought, every doubt, every fear is a fork in the road. Your mind will always offer excuses. It will always whisper reasons to quit. But you get to decide which voice you obey. You get to decide whether you are led by limitation or by possibility. You get to take the reins and ride the horse instead of being dragged behind it. This is the moment where your life stops being about chance and starts being about command. Imagine your mind as a battlefield. Every day, thousands of tiny skirmishes take place inside you. Thoughts tell you to stay small. Fear tells you to hide. Doubt tells you to wait. And most people surrender to these inner forces without realizing it. But not you. You have the opportunity to become the general of your inner world. You will not flee. You will not hesitate. You will not allow temporary discomfort to decide your future. Every decision to act, every refusal to quit, every thought you choose to strengthen yourself is a victory in this unseen war. The people who dominate their lives are not the smartest or the luckiest. They are not immune to fear or failure. They are the ones who refuse to be prisoners of their own minds. They refuse to let old stories, past mistakes, or other people's opinions dictate what they could achieve. They mastered the inner voice, disciplined it, challenged it, and then commanded it to work for them, not against them. That is your path as well. Your mind is your most valuable asset. It is the engine of your dreams and the gatekeeper of your reality. Treat it like the treasure it is. Feed it courage. Feed it action. Feed it belief. Silence the thoughts that try to weaken you. And when fear rises, face it. When doubt rises, speak louder. When hesitation rises, move anyway. This is not optional. This is essential. Every great life is built on the moments you refuse to be controlled by your mind. And finally, remember this mastery of your mind is not a destination. It is a lifetime of choices. Every single day, the opportunity appears again. Every single moment, you are challenged to rise above, to command, to decide, to grow. Your thoughts will never stop testing you. Your fears will never stop shaking you. Your doubts will never stop whispering. But you will always have the power to say, not today. Forward is my choice. Forward is my life. Forward is my command. Take that power. Own it. Train it, strengthen it, and step into a life that your old self couldn't even imagine. Forward is the only direct is freedom. Forward is greatness. Forward is yours.